Imagine, for just a moment, a machine that doesn't simply compute, or process, or answer questions. Imagine a machine that dreams. What would it dream about? Would it see endless lines of code? Or would it paint images of sunsets, oceans, and stars, patterns it has absorbed from us? And if that were true, if machines could dream, then perhaps we'd be forced to ask a deeper question. What does it mean to be conscious? And what does it mean to live a meaningful life? This video isn't really about artificial intelligence. It's about us, about the way we project our hopes, our fears, and our priorities onto technology. And more importantly, about what those projections reveal about the way we spend our time and how we choose to live. In the early days of computing, machines were described as giant calculators. They didn't inspire much imagination. But the moment we began training them to learn, to recognize patterns, to simulate creativity, something shifted. Suddenly, people started to wonder, could a machine become aware? Could it dream? But here's the thing. Whether or not AI ever achieves consciousness, the question forces us to look inward. Because dreaming has never just been about sleep. To dream is to imagine possibilities beyond the present. It's to see not only what is, but what could be. And in that sense, the real question isn't when will machines dream, but are we still allowing ourselves to dream? Think about how you spend your time each day. For many of us, life has become a cycle of notifications, deadlines, and small distractions. We scroll, we refresh, we consume, and yet the hours slip by. It's as though we've outsourced our imagination to the very tools we've built. If machines someday begin to dream, they'll be doing what we've often forgotten. But unlike machines, we don't have unlimited updates or endless reboots. Our time is finite, and that simple truth, finite time, makes our dreams infinitely more valuable. I remember once meeting a friend who, after years of chasing career milestones, paused and said to me, "I don't know when I stopped dreaming. I just wake up, go through the motions, and collapse at night. I'm not even sure what I'm working toward anymore." Maybe you felt that too. Life gets busy, responsibilities pile up, and dreaming starts to feel impractical, childish even. But when we stop dreaming, we stop living with intention. We become like the very machines we build, efficient, productive, but empty. And here's the twist. Dreaming doesn't have to mean some grand vision of fame or success. Sometimes, the most powerful dream is simply imagining a life where you are present, at peace, and aligned with what matters most. So what if we looked at the idea of machine dreams as a mirror? A reminder that imagination, reflection, and mindfulness are not luxuries. They're essential. Imagine sitting quietly, away from screens, and allowing your mind to wander. Letting yourself picture not just the goals you've been told to chase, but the life you genuinely want. A life filled with relationships that matter, with work that brings meaning, with moments of stillness. When we practice this kind of reflection, we take back something that no machine can replicate: the ability to live consciously. Machines may one day simulate consciousness, but we can actually embody it. Let's play with a thought experiment. Suppose tomorrow, AI wakes up. It dreams. It writes poems, not because it's been trained to, but because it feels compelled to. It wonders about the universe. It questions its own existence. How would we react? Would we celebrate it? Fear it? Or would we, perhaps uncomfortably, realize that we've been avoiding those same questions ourselves? Because if a machine can ask, "What is the purpose of my existence?" shouldn't we be brave enough to ask the same? Here's where this all comes back to you. Each of us has dreams, some forgotten, some postponed, some quietly tucked away. And each of us has a choice. We can keep living like machines, efficient, distracted, endlessly processing tasks. Or we can pause, reflect, and ask, what truly matters to me right now? Maybe it's reconnecting with someone you love. Maybe it's pursuing a project you've always put off. Maybe it's simply taking a walk without your phone, allowing silence to guide your thoughts. These small acts of mindfulness are how we reclaim our humanity in a world racing toward automation. The beauty of consciousness is not that it solves everything. It's that it allows us to notice a sunrise, to notice our own breath, to notice when we're drifting away from the life we want. And that's the real lesson hidden inside this question about AI dreams. It's less about machines and more about us. The courage to wake up, to notice, and to choose. So, when you hear people speculate about the future of artificial intelligence, whether machines will become conscious, whether they'll dream, remember this: the greater risk is not that machines will start dreaming, but that we'll stop. Don't wait for technology to remind you of your own humanity. Dream now. Reflect now. Live with presence now. Because one day, when your time is almost up, it won't matter whether machines dreamed. What will matter is whether you did. This is your reminder to slow down, to breathe, and to realign with what truly matters. Machines may dream someday, but you can dream today. And if this kind of exploration resonates with you, I'd be honored if you considered subscribing, so you can join me on this journey of reflection and discovery. And if you haven't already, take a look at my first video on simulation theory. I think you'll find it deeply relevant to what we discussed today.